Should the Eagles sign running back Jamaal Charles? What's going on, guys? It's Sacred Eagle, and today I read an article on Bleacher Reports about the number one thing that every single team in the NFL needs to do before the draft. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the one thing that they need to do, apparently, according to this article, is sign running back Jamaal Charles. I've talked about this about 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, when the Eagles showed interest in the Kansas City Chiefs running back, the veteran running back. And I said that it would be a good idea. I've watched a few people like Desert Eagle, Philly 500. I've watched people talk about this topic in the past and say that it wouldn't be a great idea because injuries. And we want people that are, ascending. We want people that are for the future. I feel Jamaal Charles wouldn't be for the future, but this could help our future. Now I'm going to talk about both why it would be a good thing, why it would be a bad thing. Let's start with the bad. The bad is that he's gone through the past 2 seasons battling constant injuries. He hasn't played that much of the past 2 seasons, and it draws some concern for whoever picks him up if he stays in Kansas City, if he goes to Philly, wherever. It draws concern because we don't know if he's still the Jamaal Charles we saw 3 years ago. 5 years ago, you know what I mean? It makes sense that is of the most concern of everybody. It should be of concern because he's 30. His age is kind of starting to catch up to him, along with the fact that, his knees might not be as good as they were. But then again, you don't know. You never know what could happen. We've seen a lot of players come back from injuries and really shock people for a season or two, or for the rest of their career. We've seen it happen before. It could happen again with Jamaal Charles. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I wouldn't mind if it didn't happen, or if it did happen, because I kind of want him to come to Philadelphia. I think the best way the Eagles can, focus these running backs for the future is to cut Ryan Matthews whenever you can. Maybe cut Kenyon Barner, because you have a lot of depth there at running back. You don't need 4 running backs. Keep Darren Sproles until he retires, of course. Wendell Smallwood, he could be on punt returns, kick returns, and be that backup in case if one of our running backs goes down. That's completely fine. And you could draft somebody along with signing Jamaal Charles. Jamaal Charles can be your number 1 for 2016 or 2017, 2018. But in the draft, you want to get somebody. You cannot just look at the draft class and say, we don't need a running back. No. Dalvin Cook, any running back in general, that's my personal favorite for the Eagles to draft. Dalvin Cook. If you draft him and Jamaal Charles stays for a year or two, he can learn under Jamaal Charles. And, by the time Jamaal Charles is done with Philly, once he's done, or once he decides to call it quits on the career, or whenever we decide to say, we're going to move in a different direction, Dalvin Cook will be ready. I think to build for our future at running back, drafting someone young, watching 2 veterans, Darren Sproles, Jamaal Charles, would benefit. I wouldn't throw the rookie right in. Maybe after half a season or to an entire season, I wouldn't throw him in as a rookie. I would rather see someone, watch a veteran that, has been through this before, show him how it's done for a limited amount of time before throwing the rookie in there. I think that would be the best situation. I think that would be the best solution, for our running backs. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. You guys can tell me in the comments what you guys think. But Jamaal Charles coming to Philly makes complete sense. Because for 2017 in general, I feel with Jamaal Charles here, his presence here in a Doug Peterson, Kansas City, Andy Reid-like offensive scheme, his presence would scare people. Just like Alshon Jeffrey's presence is going to scare people, Torrey Smith running down the field is going to scare people, and our offensive line is going to be strong. Put those 3 together along with an up-and-coming quarterback like Carson Wentz, it makes a perfect fit for an offense of the Philadelphia Eagles and their potential. It can help raise the bar for this offense. We're already looked at as a threat thanks to Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith's arrival here. So bringing in somebody with potential like Jamaal Charles, and then drafting someone with future potential like Dalvin Cook, or anybody, doesn't necessarily matter to me. Anybody who fits the scheme. I have to look at this class a little bit more before I, pick more examples. I've just really liked Dalvin Cook in his highlights. Then that would work perfectly fine. And Howie Roseman has been phenomenal the past 2 seasons, honestly, with what he's done with the signings and the cuts. He's done a really good job, and he's really putting his job on the line this year with who he's cut and who he's brought in. And I think it's going to work out. I really do. I have faith in our new veteran wide receivers. Jordan Matthews will not get traded. And if we bring somebody of the potential that Jamaal Charles possesses, and then draft a running back in the draft this year, and then focus on defense, I feel that this team will definitely flourish this year and for years to come, in my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. I know a lot of you hopefully agree with me and hope that, this year, with what we got and what we're going to bring in, we don't, watch this entire thing explode in our faces. But I think this year will be fine if we do what we need to do. And we've done that. But running back right now, that's our biggest concern offensively. Defensively, corners, a pass rusher, maybe a linebacker, depending on the departure of Michael Kendricks and whoever else. Tell me in the comments, though, what do you guys think about a potential Jamaal Charles, Doug Peterson reunion? What do you think about how Howie Roseman has done this entire offseason so far? Do you think Carson Wentz will, throw for 50 touchdowns? I'm just kidding. Will he have a good year this year? Tell me in the comments your opinions about everything. I love reading your feedback, guys. It's been great. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Subscribe for more content if you're new. Make Eagles videos every single day. And yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. Fly Eagles Fly.